Kathleen, what's your definition of addiction?
So the definition, of addiction to me, it's a real disease, like in the mind and brain, an obsession. And, you could be addicted to, there's so many different things we can be addicted to, like not even just drugs and alcohol, like whether it be sex or porn or, cell phones, TV, like there's so many, shopping, gambling, there's so many different, addictions out there. And I would say it's like a real, disease in the brain that we have to fight every single day.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I feel like addiction it's definitely a heavy disease. It's something that most people don't speak on, but I feel like it definitely should be talked about more, and also about how the church often reduces it to sin instead of seeing it as suffering. I understand that most churches want to see people doing good, but at the same time, I feel like most churches, when they see people with addiction, they kind of see it as a sin. And I mean, a lot of people actually, not just churches, but a lot of people actually see it as a sin, and they kind of judge you for it instead of, being that person that can help walk you through it, walk with you, encourage your walk with God, bring you to godly connections or appointments, whether it be, just outside of a church, maybe just meet with, members where they're like volunteering, you can find connections there. But a lot of times inside the church, they always kind of see it as just a sin and not as a suffering, not as like a cry for help. And I feel like that definitely needs to change in, today's society. And talking about how people don't understand that addiction is complex and that shame doesn't heal it. Like a lot of times when people shame us for addiction in the past, it didn't help us like want to reach out and get more help. No, it kind of helped. It kind of made us like suppress the issue further, and it kind of kept us in like this little box where, even if we were to ask for help, all we're gonna get is just like judgment. Like a lot of people think that when you try to get sober from addiction, it's only like a one time and then you go to rehab and then it's magically supposed to happen. I tried to get clean a handful of times, over a dozen of times, but that's why it's complex, and that's why shame doesn't help it. It kind of like makes it even worse in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah, absolutely. Like I completely agree with that. And I think that's like one of the biggest problems, like the stereotypes, like will keep people away or maybe even keep them away from church and far from God. And that's not what he would want. Like if you read the Bible, God was hanging out with the people who were struggling, the prostitutes, people who were struggling with things, because he wanted to help those people. So it's like, if you're in a church and you get that vibe and you feel that energy's off, you can switch churches at any time. Not all of them are going to be like that. And we should not let that hold us back from getting close to God. And plus there's so much out there too. Not even just like in-person church. You can do it on Zoom, like whatever works for you to get close to God.
Yeah, absolutely. And shame, there's like a story how shame kind of isolated me and made it hard for me to heal. When I first started trying to get sober, a lot of people didn't want to hear me talk about my cravings and my withdrawal symptoms. Like a lot of people kind of was just like, you should be able to handle it, like that. This is what you want, right? Then it comes with some heavy baggage. It'll come with pain. It'll come with the memories. It'll come. This is life now. This is what you've been avoiding for over 10 years. You know what I mean? And like that kind of pressure, it put like a wrench inside my chest, because it's like where someone is asking for like love and mercy and grace, you get you get shame and you get judged and everything like that. So when I did try to and then also I had a lot of doubt. I had a lot of people like doubting passive aggressive comments like, oh, like, are you done pretending that you're gonna quit drinking? Are we on for 5 today? Like, are we going to the liquor store today? And that kind of thing, like, I understand people see it as a joke and it's a passive aggressive joke, but in that same way, it still made it that much harder, because not only truthfully people didn't believe you, people didn't have no faith in you. You know what I mean? And that made it so much harder to like heal, knowing that I didn't have like that backup. But thank God, turning to Jesus and just reading the Bible, just reading just little verses here and there literally like saved me. I remember there was a verse where I read where it says, he said, you had no home, so I gave you a home. You had no shepherd, and you became my sheep. Nobody gave you mercy, and I gave you mine. Like that one, like verses like that come to me in moments where I'm literally praying and I'm asking for, I'm asking for signs. I'm asking for ways to like help me know that he's listening to me. And moments later, I'll get led to these type of verses, and it's life changing. Like I can't understand how someone that feels so alone, that is an introvert, can feel so full in these moments when it just starts with like a simple prayer. And I feel like that prayer is like the most powerful thing God ever gave us.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times people don't realize that, how far, like how much just a simple prayer, like when we don't feel like doing it, like we do have to force ourselves sometimes, but the way you feel after, it's like, it's something just as simple as that. Like say I'm like stressing out, I'm trying to set up, I'm not very like handy, so say I'm trying to set up like hang something on the wall or a picture frame, like my instant reaction is to just stress and flip out. But then when I calm and I pray about it, there was a time where I was having trouble and I just prayed, God, please help me in this moment. Help me set this up. I don't want to stress and cause a big scene over a picture frame. And after I sat there and prayed and did it, I was able to do it. Like we forget pray before you stress. There's always time to stress. But why don't we try praying first and see what that does, Yeah, it's very, very powerful.
Absolutely.
And I agree, like just reading in the Bible, like even if you are an introvert, like I have times where I want to go like be around people and in person, and then times where I don't. But that's why it's so good now that we have so many resources online and podcasts, spiritual leaders you can listen to. Like YouTube has everything. I listen to motivational speakers every day, and it helps me when I don't want to give up. Like Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, like Joyce Myers. There's so much out there now. So it's like so good that we have that, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And another one is to get into Revelations. Chuck Missler on YouTube, he has like a 28-hour video of a session.
I'm about to check him out.
Absolutely, it's on the Discord. It's on the Discord chat.
Oh, good.
And he talks about, he really like breaks it down, Revelation, in the most incredible way, how it's like a treasure hunt in Revelations. Like parts of Revelations brings you back to Joshua, Ruth. It brings you back to Acts, Kings, and it's really beautiful. I'm on episode 9, and I think there's about like 26 or 28 hours. I'm not sure, but that's also available. It's free, and you also get a badge on YouTube if you complete the whole course.
Oh, nice.
So that's a beautiful thing. I want that badge.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Any badges that have to do with Jesus.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking into that as soon as
Amen.
possible.
So Kathleen, where has Jesus shown up for you in recovery?
So I would say, one thing I'll remember is even through my hardest times, like Jesus was always there. He never left. I remember like my worst times, like struggling with drugs, and I'm just praying, like even while I was high, just praying out, like, God, please help me. I can't stop. I can't do it. I need you to help me. I'm not going to be able to stop. And I just remember praying about that so many times, because when you're in the deepest, worst parts of it, you almost feel like a slave to your addiction. Like it's like you're driving the car and it's like something just takes over, and you're at the drug set, or you're at the store buying that bottle of liquor, and you're just like, how do I keep getting to this place? So I've just cried out, like, God, I can't control this. I need you to help me. And I can tell you one thing, I know he was there the whole time. That is something I know, because I shouldn't be here right now. There's so many times I was in near-death situations. Like, I've had people try to do crazy things, beat drug dealers in my car, and I didn't know they were doing that, and guns put to my head, like crazy things. And Jesus was there the whole time, because I knew if he wasn't, I wouldn't be here right now. So I know that, like, that's what we can't forget. Like, even through our worst times, God's going to be there. He's going to be there through the bad and the good times. No matter what, he's not going to leave your side. That's something we have to always remember. He's always going to be there.
Amen. I definitely agree. Like, Jesus definitely is in most of the recovery, even in the messy parts.
Yep.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in accidents. I've had a gun held to my head. I've been shot at, drive-bys, all that, chased, assaults, all these things. And I truly believe that God was right there with me through it all, because I agree. I feel like I wouldn't have made it out.
Yeah, same.
Half the things that I got myself into because of addiction, the people I surrounded myself with, the places that, I went, even though I knew they were sketchy, but at the same time, that's where the party was. That's where, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where addiction is, that crazy disease where it takes out common sense and your well-being out the window, and it'll replace it with temporary pleasure, where that pleasure is that priority at that time, and I wanna also touch on how is grace in your daily recovery, where we're not focusing on perfection, but how does it look for you in your daily recovery, Kathleen?
Yeah, like something I've always learned is, progress, not perfection. Like, none of us are going to be perfect, and like, we need to remember to have grace and patience with ourselves, because addicts and alcoholics, something we all love, instant gratification. We want everything now, and we always get something, and you have it, and then it's like you always want the next thing, and it's like we just need to remember to be grateful for where we're at, and that Jesus is going to get us where we need to be next. But it's not going to happen on our timing. It's going to happen on his timing, and that's something I have to work on, is patience, because I'm always like ready to go, and like with God, and Jesus, it's a walk. It's not a sprint. It's a walk, and we just need to remember to have grace for ourselves, even if you relapse. Like, that could hold us back, from sharing about it, because we're so worried about judgment from others, and we just need to like have grace with ourselves. Like, if you screw up, it's okay. Not everybody's going to get it on the first time. Have patience with yourself, and just like something, I work in the mental health field. Something I tell my clients. I've had clients who've I've relapsed several times. Sorry, I don't mean to like jump from thing to thing, but I just think of, I'll tell them, like, not everybody's going to get it on the first try. Don't be proud of yourself that you're not giving up. It's a real disease. You have to fight every day. We're battling our demons, and just be proud that you're not giving up the fight. Like, you're coming back,
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like with daily recovery, it gets really tough, especially when you have those moments of relapse. But at the same time, even if you relapse, you're still on that journey. If you're fighting the very next hour, the very next minute, the very next day, you know what I'm saying? Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, even if people get tired of hearing this, that, or third, find another group. Find a place where you can fully be yourself and come as you are, where other people are also going through what you're going through, and that kind of community can help each other. Hold each other accountable, uplift each other, pray for each other. It's very important to be part of a community that's one that has Jesus at the center of it. Yeah. Like myself, I have a Discord community that I made, and I also am in about 2 other Bible study groups, and I also talk with a few disciples on the daily, because I just feel like it's just ever since that the daily recovery, Kathleen, you're 100% right. It's something that you have to work to maintain, and the way that I do that is to kind of surround myself with people that I can encourage their walk, and they can encourage my walk, and also with people that don't believe in God just yet and that are curious. Like, surround yourself with people that can help the struggle instead of adding to it in a way, because your daily recovery is not only a story, but it's a testimony that can possibly help so many people in their lives, just by you sharing a small story about yourself, or telling a friend that, hey, I've been where you at, even though they don't know your past.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It really helps, because then you're like, God placed y'all together for a reason. Like, I really feel like God placed me and Kathleen together for a reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
She's pointed out a lot of things, and I've pointed out a lot of things, and how long have you been friends, Kathleen?
Oh my gosh, several years. I can't even count how many.
I don't either.
Like, what were we? Well, I worked at. So what were we, like? How old was I then? Like 2021. Oh my gosh, it's been, I think it's been over 10 years or close to it. Yeah, a very long time. And no, I like what you're saying there, Rosie, because that's something that is so important too. And I tell my clients, like, having a support system is so important. And guess what? If your family's not supportive or judgmental, that's why there's support groups out there, like what Rosie's talking about, discipleship, church groups. Like, there's so much out there. And if you don't want to go in person, they have in person, online, because it's important to have a support system and somebody you can talk to, or talking to somebody else that's in recovery, like how me and Rosie, we've both been through it, like talking to somebody else that's been through it, so you can tell each other, like, give each other tips and suggestions and how to get through it. It's so important to know that like you're not alone, and Jesus is there as well, and God, and you could talk to him at any time too. Just remember that he's always there with you through that as well.
Right, he's definitely, Jesus is not waiting at the finish line. He's right there with you every step of the way. I am a firm believer in that.
Me too.
And there's many times where I was drunk, high, both, and I regretted it. I regretted the feeling. I regretted it instantly, because although it made me numb the past, numb the trauma, it still made me feel alone. It still made me feel very alone.
Definitely.
It made me feel like Satan had his foot right on my neck, and there was a chain that was bigger than I could ever imagine. It wasn't letting me go, but as soon as I would be on my hands and knees, begging for Jesus to just help me, from anything. I don't know what I'm asking you to help me from, but please help me. And you don't always have to know what to say. but Jesus knows your heart. You just have to call on him.
Absolutely.
Call on him, you know. And also, what really helps in maintaining that recovery, I just want to touch back on that real quick, is that to memorize Bible verses. Memorize your favorite Bible verses. I just started memorizing about 4, and I am very, very thankful for them because they honestly work. As soon as you start to feel that anxiety flowing in, the loneliness, the scariness, the numbness, the trauma, the past, childhood, friends, family, partners, start saying any Bible verse that you can memorize. And my favorite one is the one that I actually posted on my Discord, is do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, perfect, pleasing will. That one, it really helps, but that's one that I really want to say that helps maintain that connection, prayer and Bible verses, but definitely scripture.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. That's something I'm trying to get bigger into right now, is like reading scriptures more and like reading my Bible every day. That's something I struggle with, and I'm trying to get better with that. But I do pray every day, every morning, every night, and I have my certain prayers that I memorize and I say every day. So like I'll start off like, doing my certain prayers that I do every day. I have one for the morning, one for the nighttime, and then I'll also like just talk to God after I'm done saying like the prayers that I memorize. Just talk to him, like just genuinely me coming from my heart, and I'll pray for my family and my friends and say their names, or just whatever it is or what I'm struggling with, but also like thanking God. Like I'm gonna pray to him about what I need help with and what I'm struggling with, but then remember to remind yourself to like tell him how grateful you are for all that he's done in your life already and all the things that he's got me through already. Like I just want to remind him, like, yes, I'm asking for some other things, but I want to thank you for all that you have done, and I know everything else will come, in your timing.
Amen.
Yeah,
I love that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, another one is good is denying yourself. That one is a big one to following Christ with our hearts when it comes to old patterns coming back up, resurfacing, and realizing that those old patterns are attacks that are being actively used against you, so that way it can trip you up. But even those attacks, that's where you can bind those up and bring them straight to God, because ultimately He has overcome the world. So anything that you're fearful of, anything that holds you to a point of like no return, any deep places where pain or trauma has taken root, I'm telling you, the best way to break those chains is to ask God. Break generational curses, break chains, break broken beliefs that came from your past. That those are also can help. And I also want to ask, what do you wish people knew, Kathleen, about addiction and shame and recovery?
So I just wish, like, I think like the biggest thing is like that people know that like even at your worst, like that doesn't disqualify you from like being loved or like used by God. Like just because you're in a struggle doesn't mean you're not going to come out of it, and God can still use you. And whatever you did, like I think of all the terrible things I did in addiction, and I judged myself for so many years and felt sorry for myself. But what is God doing with that now? He's using that pain now for me to help others. I don't think if I didn't go through all of those things that I would, who knows if I'd even be working in a rehab now and in school to be a therapist. Like He's using all that pain and those things that I went through to now help others who are struggling. So like, I just try to remember like everything happens for a reason. And, it doesn't matter what you did in your past, like you can heal and grow and change your character at any time. So don't judge yourself. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. All that matters is what are you doing today? You relapsed yesterday, you got back up and you got it together today. Like don't focus on yesterday. Just keep trying to be better each and every day. Because if we judge ourselves, keep judging ourselves and punishing ourselves for the past, like we're never going to be able to fully heal and grow and blossom into who we're supposed to be in our future. And we all make mistakes in life. Everybody does. Even if you're not somebody that struggles with drugs or addiction, every single person in this world has made a mistake in their life, and it's all about how we learn from those mistakes. And even if you make the same mistakes a couple times, as long as you're trying to like retrain your, it's like also like retraining your brain and like replacing bad habits with new good healthy ones. It takes a while. When we first get clean off of drugs and alcohol, we don't just automatically change right away, like, oh, we're saved, we're great. Like I'm still on a healing journey trying to like unlearn negative patterns and behaviors. So like that's just something I want people to remember too. Like when you first get clean, not all of those like toxic negative behaviors are going to change right away. It's going to happen in time, and it's going to be slowly but surely. Like I said, I've had 5 years off of like hard drugs, and I'm still like there's still so much I have to learn, and I'm still trying to work through. So just remember, it's not going to happen right away, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's definitely, recovery isn't a straight line in the slightest. But God is never tired of walking with us, though. That's definitely the truth. I feel like if you're struggling, this doesn't have to be the end of your story. If someone you love is struggling, don't preach, just be present. Most of the time, we just need someone to be there for us. Like, especially if you're struggling with addiction or you're struggling with issues. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, most of the time, a lot of people just need to talk and just know that they're not alone, and just know that someone out there cares enough to listen. If you have that quality, if you have that trait where you're an inviting person, try to be that for somebody, because you don't know, if that person is battling the whole world, but it's very quiet about it because they just feel as though, nobody's there. It's very important to just be present through those times. When people just need an ear or a shoulder to cry on.
Definitely.
And I feel like this is the ending of it. And just remember, guys, you don't need to fake your healing for God to love you. He's in there in the midst of all your troubles. And
Definitely.
we wanted to share a prayer with you from Paul, Philippians chapter 1, 9 through 11. Kathleen, you want to read it, or you want me to read it?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So this is a prayer from Paul to all of us. So I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. For I want you to understand what really matters, so that you may live pure and blameless lives until the day of Christ's return. May you always be filled with the fruit of your salvation, the righteous character produced in your life by Jesus Christ, for this will bring much glory and praise to God. Amen.
Amen. So this one is your outro, Kathleen.
Okay. So, if this spoke to you, drop a comment, like, share it with someone who needs hope today. And just remember, don't give up on Jesus, because he has not given up on you.
You're not alone. You're not beyond grace. Thank you for showing up to this space today. I see you, and Jesus sees you. Follow, rate, comment, and share this episode if it hits home. We love you guys.
Love you. Thank you.